Pat, he's one of those guys, these modern day athletes. These guys are all over Twitter. They're constantly checking that stuff. They may not comment on it. They may these guys are involved, right? They see stuff what's going on social media. So Pat kind of references a lot of talk that's being said out there in this interview with Cams. I only picked a few excerpts to talk about tonight, but here's Pat talking about what he's hearing about the Chiefs, as well as his opinion on the top 100 list that's about to come out from the NFL. How he says he doesn't really care about that. So here's Patrick Mahomes talking about some stuff that's going on in social media.
Just ready to play football again. Whenever you lose, you kind of have this taste in your mouth that you want to go out there and revenge that or whatever you want to say. But at the same time, I feel like I've had to sit back and just listen to people talk, and I'm like, let's just play football and just handle it all out there. And I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to go out and show who we are as a Kansas City Chiefs.
You've been for a bunch, sort of iconic relationship with the top 100 list. How would you describe that relationship this year? It's coming.
I know it's coming. I mean, but I know it's a year-by-year thing, and so there's a lot of great quarterbacks, a lot of great players in this league, and they can rank me wherever they rank me. At the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is win Super Bowls, and I don't care where I am on that list. No offense.
So JD, two really, like, I know it's a Hit Cam's show, very light show, but like him coming out right out the gate saying, he just wants to come out and kind of settle the score on the field. He's heard a lot of BS. He wants to settle the score on the field. He just wants to get to play football, like, as we all want to watch. We all want to see that. And on top of that, he talks about not really giving a crap about these top 100 lists. I just want to win a Super Bowl. I mean, it sounds like this man is, we talk about going to scorched earth this year, but it really does seem like he wants to go out there and kind of shut some people up.
Yeah, I think right now, just for him, like you said, look, people are going to put him wherever they want to put him. But when it all said and done, when the dust settles, he's going to be one coming out on top. And look, we understand that people don't want to give Pat, the nod as being the best quarterback in the league. They want to make it everybody else but him, right? Of course, you start looking at some of the numbers last year. We say Josh Allen, and of course, Lamar had, better years statistically than Pat. But overall, when we sit there and we start looking at the streak of 17 games winning by, one possession, best in the NFL ever, there's a reason for it. Why? Because he's a winner. He knows how to win, him and Andy both. And so when the chips are against you, when you're up against the wall and you need to go down and score, you need to go win the game, you give it a P on 15. I'm not giving it to Big Ben. I'm not giving it to Lamar. And look, I love those guys. If they was on my squad, I'll root for those guys too. And look, those are great guys, okay? But Patrick Mahomes is head and shoulders above those guys in that regard, okay? Like I said before, when it comes down to it, you can trust that Patrick Mahomes is going to get the job done, pure and simple. And so I don't make any bones about it. I think everybody recognizes that. You can go in and say talent-wise, all these other different things. I seen somebody made a comment about who's the talented guy, and, some are saying, well, there's a lot of guys more talented than the Pat. And I'm just like, I love to see them. I see a lot of guys out there, right? There's no doubt a lot of talent in the NFL, okay? But there is something else special about Patrick Mahomes, okay? He produces magic. He gets wins when it seems impossible, okay? When you start thinking about, the games down to 13 seconds and all those, like you start looking at his body of work over the years, just being in the league and getting to the AFC Championship game, as long as he's been here, hey, man, come on. Can't take nothing away from that man. You just cannot. So, look, if you want to say he had a down season, fine. You can say that. But put it in context. He was without Rasheed Rice, without Hollywood Brown. Star running back got hurt in Pacheco, right? We had to go get Kareem Hunt out of Cleveland, pluck him out of there. He had a couple of, some chips on his chest. He had to wipe off. He came in and did a great job. Offensive line was a little, kind of discombobulated. And, the guys that came in kind of got hurt. So we went through somewhat of a difficult journey last year. And guess what? We still made it to the Super Bowl. We still did. Who gave us that chance? PM15. PM15. So we need to just go ahead, man, and stop with the BS, with the craziness, man, with the madness is what I call it, and just call it what it is. PM15 is the guy. He's been the guy since he's been in the league, and everybody else is taking a backseat to him, pure and simple. So.
Yeah, these talking heads and these people on these shows, I know they're trying to draw views and clicks. I get it. But like at the end of the day, when we talk about, these guys, leading their teams, Patrick Mahomes hasn't gotten anywhere less than the AFC Championship game. That is his floor. And I've seen someone in the comments say it. His floor is the conference championship, which it is, which he could call. That's it. At the end of the day, he can't block for himself. He can't be his left tackle. You can only do so much back there. And as long as he's back there, he's giving our team a chance, and he's getting us the AFC Championship game every year into the Super Bowl, if not the AFC Championship game. So, like, the fact that people are writing him off, like, yeah, our team wasn't healthy at all. And no team is healthy, right? But in the fact that by the time we get to that point, we weren't the healthiest team. Yeah, we had Hollywood Brown come back late in the season. Omenu came back late in the season. Pacheco came back. Jalen Watson came back. These guys weren't, they weren't ready to kind of contribute. These guys were just kind of getting in there and getting their bearings when they came back at the end of the season. He put that team – took that team, willed that team to where it got to. And, people want to say he's, he had a down season, sure, but context matters. And contextually, the line wasn't there. He had a left guard playing left tackle. People just forget all that. They forego all the actual facts behind why it didn't look the same for Kansas City or it didn't look the same for Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't because he didn't do anything wrong. It was just that the team it was kind of patchwork at different spots of the team last year. And it's like, okay, we're blaming everything on him. It goes to his shoulders.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it is. But the thing is, anything they can do to discredit him, they're going to do. And it's fine. Look, we understand. It comes to the territory, right? Look, we got 9 games on national TV next year, okay, or this year coming up this season. And guess what? People are going to tune in for one or two reasons. Either to watch the Chiefs come in and win and watch him dismantle the entire league, or number 2, to watch him fail. That's what it's going to be, okay? And they're going to watch because they love to see him try to take an L. And I'm telling you, everybody's talking about other teams that re-up in the AFC and all over the league and stuff like that. Keep sleeping on them. I'll tell you what, you're gonna mess around and put yourself in a bad position, okay? And bet against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, okay? We got Travis Kelce. Same thing last year, first of the season, he wasn't really catching a whole lot of balls. They said he was old. All it was, Taylor Swift is all that, turning him out, and he can't do nothing. And all of a sudden, he started hitting him over the head, right? That's what he started doing. And so now, this year, he's come back with a passion, with some vigor. And he's coming in with a vengeance. And so him and Pat is on the same page. And guess what they're doing? They're galvanizing the troops around them to make sure they understand what the assignment is, okay? And PM15 is not going to let them forget it. He is not going to let them just sit back and take it easy. It's none of that, okay? They come out here because they mean business. They mean business. And so you could tell PM15 is like, look, I'm tired of all the talk. Let's just go play ball. How about we do that? You can say whatever you want to say, but when it comes down to it, we get on the field, let the play do the talking, okay? Let the wins go ahead and rack up, and then let everything play that way. We'll let all that sorted out then, okay, on the football field. Because when it comes down to it, when it comes down to playing ball, when it comes down to winning games, Patrick Mahomes is the best out of everybody, period, point blank and simple, Marcus. I don't know what else to explain it. You can say whatever. You can say all this, he's out of his prime. Big Ben done said that. He's out of his prime, with a dumpster take that he had to say. Come on, Big Ben, stop the madness. Everybody sitting over talking about, PM15 is even a top 5 quarterback anymore. Yo, you done lost your mind. And so keep doubting what PM15 is and what he's done, okay? And I guarantee you're going to come up lame. That's what's going to happen, all right? You're going to come out on the losing end. Guess what? You could ask all those quarterbacks that everybody been putting in front of me, Marcus, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, all those guys have been put in front of Patrick Mahomes. Ask them. See what they think about Patrick Mahomes.
It's funny. Both quarterbacks that were in the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, both those guys get shit on for, and it's like, well, I don't understand. Hurts is 2 Super Bowls in a row he's come to. He's played the game of his life, and he still gets like, people don't talk about him like the same conversations as those other guys you mentioned. And Patrick Mahomes, it's like, oh, now he's not it anymore. Everyone else is caught up to him. It's like, what? I mean, what are we talking about here?
So it was interesting because I seen something. I was telling you the guy that was sitting there saying this, and I was going to ask you because I was going to send it to you. So he had 3 quarterbacks up, right? Okay, this is like a quick little just Jalen Hurts appreciation. I'm going to say this, all right, because I love his style. I love his competitiveness. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. I am, truly. I really am. I have been since college. And so it was Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, and Jalen Hurts. And the question was start, bench, and cut. Okay? Start, bench, cut. So I'm asking you right now, Marcus, okay? Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, and Jalen Hurts, all right? But you're right. They've been, Pat and Jalen been getting doo-dooed on, forever.
Yeah.
Ain't like you don't give them no credit. So who's your start, bench, and cut?
I would start Hurts. I would have Baker on the bench, and I would cut Stafford. And this is 2025, so I would do that right now. Maybe 10 years ago, probably different. It's probably a different answer to that question. I probably have Stafford there, but I mean, we're talking about right now. I would take Baker as the 2 spot, and Stafford would have to go to the waiver wire.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, you go the same. You go the same 3.
Go the same 3, absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
I like Matthew Stafford. I start looking at these stats. I realized he had Megatron and some guys around him. I understand that, right? So a little easy when you got a Megatron to throw the ball to. So when you start looking at the stats, passer rating, I'm actually a little surprised. I'm surprised at Baker, but Baker had to go to somewhere where he's surrounded by a lot of wide receivers. He's had that. He had his first few years. Didn't quite do what he wanted to do in Cleveland. Okay, locked him at his own little house, right?
And he got him the first playoff victory they've had in a very, very long time. So I mean that does bode well for him a little bit.
Golf clap. There you go. Yeah, very well done. Very well done. But and just going back to the show, man. Go back to the show. But Pat, even in the conversation, man, I mean, he's just. I don't know anybody else who would say, "Hey, man, I'd rather take such and such before Pat." If you did. All right, man. That's your prerogative. You can make those. What Star Kiss? What is that? Hershey Star Kiss?
Chocolate Star Kiss.
Chocolate Star Kiss. Everybody got one. I love it. I'm gonna keep using that sucker every chance I get.
That's a good one. And seeing the interview with Mahomes, I think the thing that stands out to, like, I mentioned this in the beginning. Kay Adams, when she's on the show, she talks ball, but it's very light, kind of fun, But like the vibe that he was at like the state. I think he was filming a State Farm commercial there. It was like on the set of a State Farm commercial he was filming. Oh yeah. Like the vibe of that's supposed to be light and funny, but like that was a man who's on a mission. Like his answers to those questions, like I don't care about all that. I care about winning Super Bowls. I just want to play football right now. I've heard we hear a lot of stuff. I just want to play football right now, just to prove. I mean, pretty much what's make people eat their words big time when it comes to us when September begins. And it just sounds like he is on a mission just based on, JD, you did a lot of these interviews back in the day. And like when you hear that and see that, like the kind of the vibe he was giving off, what kind of vibe were you getting from that interview from him?
Just the vibe that he's focused. He understands the distraction. He knows these questions are coming. He understands that. And so, like he says, he's reading all the things that's out there. He hears all the chatter from every person that has an opinion about him. But he's laser focused on what he wants to do this season. Like he said, and paraphrasing about when you lose, people think you're down. People come after you, don't think that you're good anymore. Especially how we lost in the Super Bowl. And everybody's thinking, oh man, these guys were pretenders. There's no reason they should have been there, this and that, blah, 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 yada, 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 right? And everybody jumps up here. Where was the other 30 teams at, Marcus? Where were they at? Didn't they all have a chance and opportunity to get there too? I mean, I'm assuming everybody has the same opportunity, right? I get some teams may not be as talented as the Chiefs. I get that part. But everybody put their pads on and came out there to come play. Okay. And Pat pulled some things off last year. Pat did that. Pat did that with the things he was dealing with the offensive line. We had to take our starting left guard and move him out to tackle. Okay. Move him out. We had guys, like you said, on defense. Charles Minhu was out, right? Didn't have Steve. We try to figure guys out in the secondary. Guys that come up. Jalen Watson got hurt. So there was things that happened with our guys defensively and offensively that, any other team would have folded. Every other team probably would have folded. Somebody put that on there. Any other team lose your two best players, your top two wide receivers. You 5-12. I forgot who said that, but that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people ain't coming out that smoke, baby. A lot of people ain't doing it.
No, and then you also look at the year prior where he went to all these quarterbacks. Everyone wants to take ahead of Pat. He went to Buffalo, took care of Biz. Went to Baltimore in the AFC Championship game, took care of Biz. So I don't know what more he has to do. I think he just has to win every Super Bowl every time he gets to that point. He just has to win one every time, so it just keeps people off him. I don't really get. It's not really realistic. The standards that they're putting on him.
Well, I mean, somebody said, "Oh, it's the end of the dynasty." It said Patrick Mahomes, and they'll never see another, Super Bowl. Then okay, all right, you keep believing that. That's all you've been watching him do is get to Super Bowls and AFC Championship games. Okay, why would you make that assessment when now Pat is saying himself that this is the best wide receiver core he's had, and not taking away from Tyreek and all those other guys, right? We're not, disparagingly those guys at all, okay? At all, because all of them were, privy to the success that Patrick had, okay? And they contributed to that, right? So we want to give a nod to all those guys and shout outs to those dudes to catch every single ball from Patrick Mahomes. But make no mistake about it, man. We loaded with speed. We loaded with speed. You got the best tight end in the game. He's still good. He's still chopping jokers up. We got a nice running back room, okay? Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Mitchell. And then we just got, what's the name of two?
Rashard, baby.
Oh, come on, man. Yo, and not to mention, one of our problems, Marcus, was the offensive line. It was the protection, right? The guys didn't play well, okay? And there's guys that's here that played, they're not okay with it. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Juwan Taylor, okay? Even King Sumo, all those guys, hey, they weren't okay with what they did last year. So now, man, this thing is a reckoning. It is. They're going to right the ship. And so I'm here for all of it, man. I am. I'm here for every single game to watch it all go down. So.
Yeah, week 1 can't come soon enough. In Brazil against the Chargers, I think Pat's going to have something to prove. And I think what was that 1 year? I think it was during the COVID year, where we were playing Baltimore. It was a Monday night game or a Sunday night game, and he counted on his fingers what number he was on the top 100 list. I mean, Pat's very petty like that, and I love that he stores all this crap in here. So I'm right. He counted how many where I think it's number 7, and he shrugged the shoulders as he ran to the sideline. So keep doing this because you're going to wake up a monster in this guy, and he's already thinking about what he's going to do week 1 to prove all these people wrong.
Yeah. So now I like a little petty Pat. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And all he's doing is just showing like, hey man, y'all doubt me all you want to. Okay, go ahead and doubt me. So when the time comes down to it, who's going to be standing?
Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.